Lesson 6.sp.5b learning target. I can describe attributes of data displays. Attributes are characteristics. So basically, I guess I could have just said I can describe data displays. So, examples. Don't write down these examples. Today we're just going to write down the quick check in your notes. So just follow along. Alice asked her friends how many stuffed toys they have. She collected the following data. Then she created the line plot below. Select the appropriate scale and interval for the number line. Okay, the scale means from what number to what number, and the interval means count by what. So, if we look back up at our numbers, at our data, it looks like the smallest number is 1 and the largest number is 6. So we're going to at least have to have 1 to 6. And if I look at the dot plot, or the dot plot, line plot, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 spots. So I think we'll number them from 1 to 6. It would make sense. It would make sense to number them like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Otherwise, you couldn't mark all the numbers. Okay, so the scale needs to be from 1 to 6. That would be either this one or this one. The interval is the distance that you're counting by. We're only counting by ones. Each one's 1 bigger, so the interval's 1. We couldn't have an interval of 2. They wouldn't all fit. If it was an interval of 2, it would go 1, 3, 5, 7, and count by 2s. And we don't want that. So our interval, our spacing, is 1. So the correct answer here would be this one. Make sure that you paid attention to what scale is. That means from what to what. And what interval is. That means what's your spacing. Okay, next question. The manager of a pizza store records the number of pizzas ordered in the last 14 days. So he's got 30, 21, and so on. He then graphs the data on a histogram. Okay. Select all the true statements about the labels on the graph. So when we're talking about describing the attributes of data displays, labels are attributes. Okay, so the labels go here and here and tell us what we're talking about. Okay, so remember that this is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. So we've got to decide which of these statements are true. Number of days is an appropriate label for the x-axis. Could number of days go right there? I would say no. I think to do this problem, what I would do is decide what would make sense. I'm just going to go ahead and put labels onto the histogram so that it would make sense. And I believe that these bars should be the number of pizzas. And the other axis should be the number of days. Now, let's look at it and see if it makes sense. Number of pizzas, we'd have a range from 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, something like that going down here. And how many of these numbers fall in that range would be 1 or 2 or 3 or so on. So I think the number of days should be on the y-axis. And the number of pizzas ordered should be on the x-axis. It wouldn't make sense to put the number of days on the x-axis because the number of days that you order a certain number of pizzas, it wouldn't range. There wouldn't be a range of those days. okay? The number of pizzas ordered can be broken down into different ranges. So that's why the number of pizzas needs to be on the x-axis. Okay. Next question. A dietitian asked the same question from each of her clients. She then created a box plot with the data. Which of the following data could the dietitian have collected for the box plot? Could this be about favorite fruit, weight of her clients, or the number of family members? Well, when we look at our numbers, they go from 90 to 140. That isn't a favorite fruit. Could it be weight? Do people weigh between 90 and 140 pounds? Yes. Could it be the number of family members? Let's hope not. That doesn't seem to make sense. So the only one that seems to make sense is the weight of her clients in pounds. All right, time for the quick check. John, the quick check is the only thing that you have to write down. All that you need to put into your quick check is the actual box plot and the answer that you choose. All right. Once you feel like you have the correct answer, get it checked. See you soon. Good luck.